Oh, I'm sorry. I just fell asleep in my theater seat at the new Cinemark Theater, the home to Extra Butter. Check it out. Each one has fully reclining seats. Each theater seat has its own automated leg lift leg system. Leg rest is what you common folk call it. Every theater has floor-to-ceiling, side-to-side screens. This is epic. It's an all-new home to an all-new show. Oh, are you new? We do a show called Extra Butter where we talk about movies. Did you go see Moana? Well, 81 million of you did, and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson stops by to celebrate the spoils of that box office victory. Along with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, someday he hopes to be a Hollywood legend. He will be. So is Warren Beatty. We got Warren Beatty too. In fact, I'm pretty sure we're the only show where Ferris Bueller is going to meet Han Solo, and if you stick around long enough, you'll see it. Hey, look, it's the Cinemark people. What's up? You got a new theater, and we're going to be here all the time. And I mean all the time. We're going to camp out here. The show starts in 2 minutes. It's called Extra Butter. It's me and these guys. We'll be right back. Warren Beatty joins us to talk about his tribute to classic Hollywood movies in Rules Don't Apply. Also, the stars of Loving, one of the more important movies of the year, and Arrival, why you need to see it twice. Amy Adams, our special guest, as we welcome ourselves to our brand new home on this Extra Butter! What's going on, you guys?
How's it going?
This is very exciting.
It is.
Brand new theater being constructed around us.
Just for us.
For us. Just for us.
Just for us.
It's got nothing to do with us, but still, we can pretend for a moment. Excuse the, what do they say in construction when you're in?
10-4, no.
The mess?
Excuse me. Oh, yeah.
Pardon my dust.
Pardon our dust as we create our new venue for this
Which
movie
will
show,
look amazing.
Extra Butter. Yeah, it's going to be awesome. Thanks for being a part of it. Right now, let's talk about what crushed it at the box office.
Yeah.
I told you,
Yes.
at least $90 million, Moana. You got 89, not bad, right?
You call it. He always is the best at calling it, I'm telling you. Alexa's disappointed.
It didn't beat Frozen. That's the only problem that I have with it. I mean, it did wonderful numbers, but it still did not beat Frozen. And you know I have a bone to pick with Frozen.
Yeah, you're over Let It Go.
Yes.
Well, unfortunately, there are a lot of people, anytime you go thank you, they're going to go, you're welcome. At least that's what The Rock, Dwayne Johnson did. We talked.
All right.
Take a look.
So what can I say except you're welcome for the islands I pulled from the sea.
Hey, man, congratulations on this movie.
Thank you.
Also,
If
I have
only I were in it.
Well, you are in it. Are you kidding me? Like, you're not already a demigod for Pacific Islanders and the world. Now you have to play a demigod for Pacific Islanders and the world.
It's ego-driven.
Really?
It's all ego.
You demanded it?
I demanded it. I had the best time. I had the best time with this, and you know, you realize that they're the greatest storytellers, right? The greatest storytellers on earth, because ultimately the characters will get knocked down, they get back up, but there's just the element of hope, and there's faith, and not only is it relevant today, right, but I think it just speaks volumes and empowers everyone too as well.
Really? Blow dart in my butt cheek.
I love the fact that they have, you shot me in my butt cheeks. You don't hear butt cheeks in many Disney movies.
You don't at all. That's okay though, it adds to the flair.
I want to bring in another expert. You've read about him in Rolling Stone magazine, his reviews also in the LA Times, New York Times, and just about everywhere. It's Sean Edwards, KC. What's up, Sean Edwards?
Hey, Sean.
What's up, Mark? Thanks for the Extra Butter, baby. Love it.
So did we overhype Moana? What were your thoughts about it?
Nah, you can never overhype a Disney animated feature. You know what the big deal about Moana is? It's actually a rare movie that's cool because it's the culturally cool thing to do. I love the themes, I love the storyline, I love the casting, but the movie also features that great big huge X factor, which goes by the name of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. I love his voice work in this movie. I love the songs, I love the music. This is one of those fun movies to take the entire family out to see. Load up the SUVs and the minivans, take everybody out to see Moana. It's just an all-around fun, good-natured movie.
And you know, people are already dusting off a spot on their shelf right next to Frozen.
Oh, yes.
Oh, of course, yes. Disney's great at this. This is what Disney does. They create animated feature hits. They're good at it. And when someone's good at it, you just ride the wave. Excuse the pun.
Ocean is a friend of mine.
Did not see that coming.
Sweet. Hey, I'll see you over at Skywalker Ranch. We'll be talking with you again about Rogue One, all right?
Oh, man, I can't wait. I'm the hugest undercover Star Wars nerd.
All right, John Edwards, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sean.
Bye.
All right, so no shocker, no surprises. We all knew Moana was going to crush it.
Sure, of course.
Instant Disney classic.
I mean, it's a beautiful film. First of all, it's got a great story, great music. It's going to crush it. It's going to continue to crush it. It's going to make tons of.
And The Rock is a rapper.
And that
in this
alarm went
film.
off just to amplify exactly what I was
I was
saying.
going to say, it's almost like we're on a game show. Anytime they agree with you, they're going to fire them.
They push the button.
Yeah.
It was
Well
perfect
said,
for
Brian.
Thanksgiving weekend.
It was.
With family
I agree.
together.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a shocker that it did so well.
I
No
agree.
kidding. It'll continue to do well.
Yep.
Now let's talk about a movie that most people haven't gone to go see. You should find time to see it because it is truly one of the more important movies of the year. I'm talking about Loving.
It's a very inspirational film. And can I just say that Joel Edgerton?
Yeah, from Australia.
Yeah, he's Australian. I was going to try to imitate him. But he is becoming one of my favorite new actors because he is so insanely versatile
Yeah.
and brings so much passion and compassion to every role. And
Yep.
this movie included. He's just an exceptional actor. He really is.
Yeah.
You don't even recognize him.
No.
Yeah, it's true. You got someone from Ireland in the way of Ruth, and you got
Very.
this Australian guy playing one of the most important American stories.
Right.
We
They're
talked
so
about
great.
it. Mostly the kids. Take a look.
I can take care of you.
I know we have some enemies, but we have some friends too.
You realize this case could alter the Constitution of the United States.
You think you'll lose?
We may lose a small battle, but win the big war.
I love films that involve children, playing children, and I use my kids all the time on different television shoots, and I know the lovely, unpredictable nature of children. Do you have a moment on the set where you're surrounded by all these kids that are your kids?
I just giggled at them. They're absolutely divine. And I just look forward to all the days they're in because they just brought that lovely, joyful energy. And they were so excited to be on the shoot. We had a lot of fun.
There was that one child, a beautiful situation where literally I think was cast because the moment she was held by anyone other than her mother, she was just breaking to tears, and it was devastating.
It was a boy, Devon, I think.
The moment he was put in Ruth's arms,
He
would
just,
cry.
yeah.
And
But
you
that
saw
was
Jeff,
the point.
You saw Jeff just like devastated that was happening. You know, again because he's so lovely.
Babies don't take direction well. Babies and some A-list actors
Either
that I
Australians.
won't
Tell me what to do.
A remarkable story, well told, so important, and I'm so glad that you two
Thank
made
you.
it.
Oh
Good to
man,
see you.
thank you.
Good to see you again, pal.
you too.
So I wanted to talk about the kids because the kids in this movie, they don't seem like William Morris kids. They seem like real organic kids.
Right.
The whole cast is incredible.
Yeah, and
Absolutely.
we also have to talk about how important the storyline is. I mean, it resonates, I think, a lot with things that are going on today. And
Oh,
I think
yeah.
it's important
Totally.
to, mention that as well.
The problem is people that need to go see this movie probably won't go see this movie. So Brian, will you take the people that need to see this movie that won't go see it to see it?
Yeah. I got 5 seats in my car, so just pile in. We'll go see it, and then we'll have a nice cry, and we'll get along. We'll vote right next time.
There you go. It does end very inspirational. You'll like this movie.
It is.
Passing on the political statement
Oh, wait,
altogether.
what?
Thanks. Huh? What happened? Oh, did somebody get a tweet? Anybody bring a tweet?
Okay, you guys, I got this tweet. I have to talk about it, and I think you would agree. My friend just tweeted me about the movie Arrival. Dude, what is Arrival about? I've seen a couple things here and there, but I'm still #confused. And I don't blame her.
I agree. I told you. Didn't I tell you 2 weeks ago when it came out, I said, you're going to have to go see this movie at least twice to get it.
That's why I keep saying that it should be a two. It's sold as like a 2-for pass where you can go once and then come back and see it again.
Right.
Because then you can sort of get to see it.
Look, if it's not blatantly obvious, I'm not the most intelligent moviegoer. And so I'm like box office gold. I represent all these people that are going to go back and see it again and again.
You're
because
awesome.
We're talking about it afterwards at coffee, and I said, wait, what happened here? And someone was explaining it to me, and I said, you got that out of this? I got to go see it again.
Yeah. There's a lot. I mean, there's a lot of different layers and levels to it. So there's a lot to take in. Absolutely.
Just keep telling every star you're dumb. I think that really works for you.
She warmed up to me the moment I said, I'm not smart.
It's an
Bad for you.
icebreaker.
It's the whole reason you guys are at this table with me. Didn't you feel sorry for me?
Yes.
We go with the no comment,
but speaking of Arrival, if everything else is sold out and you haven't seen it, I recommend it.
Yeah, it's a good movie. You got to go see it. It's not sci-fi and like Rogue One sci-fi, but it's a good movie.
It's not like Independence Day or anything like that.
No.
It's actually more like based on the intelligence side of, you know, communicating with aliens.
Exactly.
You're not going to see things blowing up and all that.
It's more like Jodie Foster's Contact. Kids, Google Jodie Foster's Contact.
Wait,
You
who's
know what I'm
Jodie
talking about.
Foster?
Kids, Google Jodie Foster.
Yeah.
Oh, but I love. All right, coming up in a moment, speaking of things you won't know about, he was once huge in Hollywood. He is forever a legend. Warren Beatty hanging out with us to talk about his movie based on the life of Howard Hughes. That, and Dallas Bryce Howard goes back to where it all began for her. Her first kids movie was Pete's Dragon. That and more on the way as Extra Butter continues. Hey, welcome back. It is Extra Butter. I am so rude. I forgot to introduce everybody. Please hang out with my friends anytime you have a chance. Online, social media. It's Kelly.
Kelly Savannah 44. You can find me there.
It's Alexa.
Lexa Renee, that's 2 X's, L-E-X-X-A, Renee with 2 E's.
It's Brian.
Brian C. Comedy with Brian C. Comedy.
TV Marcus Allen. That's very nice.
Thank you.
All right, so moving right along, there's a movie about a Hollywood legend by a Hollywood legend opening at theaters everywhere.
Yeah.
And let's talk about Warren Beatty. Here's a guy that's playing Howard Hughes. But if you really think about it, not only that, but he was a contemporary of Howard Hughes. He knew Howard Hughes.
Yeah, Warren Beatty's a legend. He's been around forever, and it's nice to see him doing stuff again, right? You were saying that he hasn't been around for...
He hasn't actually directed a movie since 1998.
Right.
So you know he's passionate about this one since he's coming back in a huge way. He's the actor, producer,
Yeah.
writer, director.
Yeah.
I mean, this is an incredible movie. I fell in love with it.
Did you see Heaven Can Wait?
You know, I would have to rack my brain.
Did you see Bonnie and Clyde?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Oh, thank goodness. All right, good. We're talking to millennials these days.
Right, I know.
So I want to get to Warren Beatty in a moment, but first of all, something you guys probably can relate to. I actually cheated, as I often do, a moment about a different movie during an interview. So I was sitting down with Matthew Broderick. I'm a huge Ferris Bueller geek, right?
Yeah.
And then I realized during this movie, he was hanging out with the guy just as he got cast as the new Han Solo. I have to wrap with one personal question. Were you at all geeked out that you were working with the future Han Solo? Does that mean anything to you?
I wasn't at the time. Right. But I'm sure I would have been like, oh my God, what's it about? But I wasn't. I'm like that now, but he wasn't yet. Were you?
No. This is like 6 months ago, and we shot the movie 2 years ago or something.
Yeah, I would have treated him better, to tell you the truth.
Wait, what?
He would have been nicer to him had he known that he was Han Solo the whole time.
Yeah.
Now, I've hung out with Matthew Broderick before, and if he doesn't want to be nice to you, he's definitely not nice to you.
Really?
Are you sure it's not just you, Mark?
Yeah, I was going to say.
It could just be me. I should have told him I'm dumb.
Oh, yeah, start every interview. That's what you have to do.
I sat down with Warren Beatty and I said, you know, I'm not a very smart man. No, I didn't say that. But I should have. We mostly just talked about this. Have you ever you've been to some of these screenings, have you ever sat next to a star during the screening?
No, I probably wouldn't be able to focus on the actual movie.
Well, you did some of these junkets before.
Yeah.
No, never?
No, never.
Never? All right. Annette Bening to my right.
No.
To the right of Annette Bening, Warren Beatty.
No.
So I watched the
gosh.
entire movie like this.
Are you serious? You were taking donuts. You don't lie. You were probably trying to take selfies secretly like this. I know your
Categorically deny the knowledge of any. That's exactly what I did. Anyway, I talked to him about watching his movies as a regular person. Take a look. When you think back to that very first movie, the very first time you got to see your image projected, do you still get the feelings? Last night, when we saw you watch Rules Don't Apply, is there any hint of that very first feeling?
When you see a movie that you've made with an audience, you start interpreting the audience, because all audiences are different. And so, and that could be if I'm showing a movie to a single person. I see it differently if I show it to that person.
Right.
I don't know why. I'm probably wrong to assume whatever differences I create in my head. So if I'm watching a movie with a large group of people, then it's a new experience. The movie is a new experience.
So you know how, like last weekend, you're probably looking for a movie that you could take grandma to, you could take great-grandma to,
Right.
and the aunts, the uncles, maybe some of the younger kids. That would probably be the movie. I think this movie you could do that with.
And like I said before, I fell in love with it because I love when movies are able to capture the 1950s movie-making magic.
Oh, yeah.
Splenda, you know, it's pure vintage Hollywood. You can't go wrong.
Yeah, there's a
I
lot
loved
of familiar things in it, and at the same time, it's a fresh love story.
Yeah,
so,
it's a love story.
right, yeah.
Who doesn't like a good love story?
Right, exactly.
I mean, it's not The Notebook, but it's still really good.
Speaking of love stories, how would you like to have been Annette Bening sitting next to her husband during the scene with her husband and Lily Collins?
Oh
if you know what I'm talking about.
Hey, you've seen it all in this business, right?
It happens.
And she
That's the
plays
thing about
her
it.
mom in the movie.
Awkward. Oh, that's so weird. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, it's weird.
That's
all
very
comes full
strange.
circle.
Exactly. I'm going to go
Kentucky.
disinfect this whole discussion. Hey, when we come back, are you hanging out at home this weekend? Great movies headed your way.
Yeah.
First of all, Pete's Dragon. Your parents probably loved it when they were kids. Now it's all back, new 3D animation, another Disney offering. Also, the BFG. Steven Spielberg brings Roald Dahl to life. It is amazing, and I sit down with Roald Dahl's daughter. We'll talk about it as Extra Butter continues. Extra Butter, thanks for joining us in our brand new home, the all-new Cinemark Theater. It's opening up in moments. You're going to hear some construction noise, and for that, Brian apologizes.
It's my fault.
All his fault.
Everything's always your fault, Brian.
I have my construction hat in the back. I'm going to put it right back on after the show and get back to work.
I would swear someone did call the contractor and say, whatever you do, make the noise happen right when these TV idiots go live.
Right when you talk, there's a lot of noise. It's weird.
Yeah,
like
I
they're
noticed
trying
it.
to drown you out, but
And
it's okay.
Have you noticed the show's better for it? You're welcome. All right, let's talk about BFG. It's now on home video. How much did you love this movie?
I was so excited about watching it because that's my childhood right there.
Right,
and it did not disappoint. I was so excited and I didn't come out disappointed, which is sometimes, you know, it happens when
And
you're
you read
looking
the
forward.
books, right?
I
Isn't
read
that what
all
you
the
were saying?
books. I've always been a Roald Dahl fan, and it's another, you know, addition to the collection. There's Matilda, James the Giant Peach.
Yeah, speaking of Roald Dahl, I had a chance to sit down with his daughter, and I thought it was going to be uplifting, and it actually got very sentimental for, well, the reason she'll explain. When I said, can you go to theaters and enjoy one of these movies the way we do? She said, not so much.
No.
I would imagine not.
I'm absolutely not. To me, it's a very, very, very personal journey back into my childhood, back into spending time with my father, who died when I was in my early 20s. And you know how when some people say to you, if you had one wish, what would you wish? And I've always said to have a meal with my mum or a meal with my dad again, or something. Holiday, something.
Sure.
I think holiday's greedy, a meal will do. And watching this film made me feel, lets me go back and be with him for 2 hours, because he really, Mark Rylance really did embody the BFG, and the BFG was somewhat autobiographical of my father's personality.
I had no idea that character was based on her dad.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
I didn't know he wrote it to be autobiographical to that moment.
I am so glad you did not send me on that interview,
Oh.
because that would have been super sad. So I'm good. Send me to the comedies.
Well, there were people that didn't do their math that walked into that interview that said, who were you in the movie? And she said, no one, my dad wrote the book. Do your homework. She sounds nothing like that, but that's the way I make her sound.
When she's angry.
Well, the BFG is a sentimental movie in general, so it kind of matches up, I feel like.
True.
You know, it does have like a very like warm connection of like friendship and humanity and love. So.
And can Steven Spielberg make bad movies? No. Because he's
Even-
Steven Spielberg. He can't make, and this is no exception. I mean, every movie he makes turns to gold.
Even
right?
the worst Steven Spielberg movie,
It's still pretty
a Steven Spielberg movie is like pizza. Even bad pizza, it's still pretty good because it's
Still
pizza.
good pizza, yeah.
All right, we're on a sentimental streak now because Pete's Dragon also very sentimental
Yes.
for two reasons. Maybe not as deeply as BFG, but I mean, did you grow up with the original?
I had the books. You know the old, I had the old book. We used to read it as a kid, and now it's on the big screen. So it's pretty awesome.
I think the original Pete's Dragon was a little bit before my time.
Me
but
too.
I did really enjoy this new version of Pete's Dragon because I know it's a remake. And
Yeah.
I mean, I love.
I feel so old today. I
Okay.
feel so
Wait, Robert
old.
Redford. I know who Robert Redford is.
Oh,
I'm a huge fan
great.
of him, and he plays an awesome dad in this film.
Yeah,
it's very touching.
Does not make me feel better.
You got him, and his daughter in this movie is played by Dallas Bryce Howard.
Yep.
Ron Howard's daughter. We talked about it. Take a look. You look lovely.
Thank you. You look well as always.
I don't know.
Dapper.
About that. I don't know about that.
Yes.
One person said I look dapper, and the other person said that suit looks like a Batman villain. So
No.
I don't know about that.
Oh my gosh.
Who's that guy? That's who said it right there.
Well, you know, that's possible.
All right. I guess we're gonna have to talk about the movie then.
Yes, yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I love that you're in this movie because the first Pete's Dragon is probably one of the first kid movies you can remember seeing.
That's true. Yeah, it's when I actually told my little sister that I was going to be in Pete's Dragon, she burst into tears because the original film was something that we just watched over and over and over and over again until we basically ran our VHS copy into the ground.
Right.
I mean, it's like, you know, we grew up watching this movie. And so for me now, as a parent, to have an almost 10-year-old boy, an almost 5-year-old daughter, and to you know, be a part of a movie like this, it's like, it's surreal, actually.
I love her. If anybody deserves to be a giant brat, it's her.
And
Right. Think about who she is.
She's
super
so
down to earth.
sweet. Yeah, she's so nice.
The same with her dad. I mean, you think about it, you know, there's a fork in the road where actors, they're going to go like the Danny Bonaducci route. Right. Google him.
Yeah.
Or they're going to go the Ron
I know
Howard
who Danny
I know who he
Bonaducci is.
So I think it's a good bloodline. Her dad's a good guy. She's a really nice lady.
Yeah, absolutely.
The apple never falls far from the tree, is what they say, right?
Absolutely. Well, so that wraps up our show. Next week, a lot to talk about. We will be that much closer. Let's just be honest. We're just killing time between now and when Rogue One opens.
Yeah,
Oh my
that's the
God.
only thing that matters at this point, right? Right?
I'm not a big Star Wars fan. I know,
What?
Mark. Please don't kill me, Mark.
Well, guess what? When Rogue One comes out, you guys are on the show. It's just me and Mark, and we're going to talk about the movie.
If you don't like Star Wars, someone will represent your voice in a very small portion of next week's show. Until then, I can't wait for this theater to be open. Thank you so much for letting us have our home here at the new Cinemark Theater. That guy's going to finish putting in the last screw as we wrap up this edition.
Nice.
Now the screwing goes away as we wrap up Extra Butter. Thanks for hanging out. Here you go.
Really? Blow dart in my butt cheek.